service here has been very sketchy, but I'm actually here in Bat Yam, which is a city in Israel just south of Tel Aviv, and it was right here where where an Iranian missile last night took down an entire building, and at least 7 people were killed, and there are apparently still some bodies under the rubble over there. And you can see this place is full of media. There's rescue workers, there's border police, regular police, there's military, the rescue workers, and a ton of media. You can see right now a bunch of right there where the crane is. They're working right now. They're still trying to recover people that are missing, or at least to see if they're there. It's not verified, and I don't have a number on that. So you see the last building there by the crane, this gray building. That's only half the width of the building. Half of it was shorn off by the missile, by the impact of this missile, and then that empty space in between is where the other building was, the one that collapsed. And then you can see there's another sand colored building after that. But these the shock waves of the blast go on. I mean, obviously the destruction in ground zero is there, but I mean, just look up there at this building here. All of the windows are blown out. Over here, this building also sustained damage. We spoke with a first responder who said that this building over here was on fire when they came in to start the rescue and the rescue services over here. I asked a couple questions, like just about the nature of the injuries compared to so much destruction that we've seen in the last couple of years here, from missile attacks. And he said that this is definitely different than anything that he's seen before. There's all sorts of different types of injuries that you see here, like crush, impact, as opposed to because of the building. He said that the missiles are so large and heavy that they are. They're causing more destruction, which is causing a different severity of injuries. He also said that, like, the things that you wouldn't necessarily think about, for instance, because it ruptures like water pipes in the building, people were coming out full of mud. Other people were coming out full of smoke from the fire. In this particular collapse here and the missile strike, there were, I think, at least two children that I had heard named among the victims. That was, I think, at like 2:33 in the morning. And that was after a previous round of attacks that happened late at night on what day is today, guys? Today's Sunday, right? So Saturday night, another massive attack that actually wiped out most of one family, an Arab family up in Tamra. The father lost his wife and 3 daughters in one shot, and then there was another family member that was also killed in that. And then just a couple hours later, this impact. And I was also like down this block. You wouldn't believe the destruction down this block. It goes on like turn the corner in between those buildings over there, and even more buildings. I saw people packing their bags. I mean, you're talking like that's a block and a half over, and a different direction. And yet they also had to. I saw people with suitcases packing their bags to leave. So I heard that there's about 800 people in all of these blocks that are now displaced. And familiar story of the last 2 years, though not necessarily. Familiar story of the last 2 years for all people of this area. So they will be. I know organizations like CBN Israel, for instance, is relocating the people that aren't getting government support, and but people who fall through the cracks, like that for whatever reason, like they have to move, they can't live in their house, but they're not getting support from the government. But they are like disabled, and they're moving disabled and elderly to a hotel elsewhere. So the government has to take care of the ones who, where with the direct hits, but then there's others who fall through the cracks. So now, as soon as I arrived in Bat Yam a couple of hours ago, literally got off the bus, and there was an alert, for the home front command, everybody get near a shelter. And within a half hour or less than that, sirens all across the country, including here. So we had to go into a building, down as many floors as possible, and find a safe place. But from this last barrage, there were no impacts, apparently. Honestly, I haven't been able to check the news in a couple of in the recent few hours. By the way, I see there's something going on right now. I'm going to turn. Oh, I think I can do back. Never mind. I'm not going to even try to do back camera right now. They're doing an interview over there. So I don't know what's happening. I don't know if they rescued anybody. You can see everybody's getting ready for their stand-ups. I see Adva Dadon from Channel 12 here in Israel, and I don't know where she's from, but she's doing her own stand-up there. Oh, here's Channel 14 right here. So anyway, so that's what's going on. We're probably leaving soon. I got to get back before the night show. It's when they usually launch the missiles. But last night's attack was a pretty overwhelming a display of, like, there were missiles and drones at the same time, and it went on for a while. So we'll see what Iran plans to offer tonight. I know the IDF has been continuing to. I did see, like, here and there, like, news alerts popping up in the midst of checking out this area here. I saw that there are attacks ongoing in Tehran and in other areas of Iran. But yeah, I would tell you, check out my video from yesterday with Marzieh Amirzadeh, who is an Iranian-born resident. She was born in Iran, and she was imprisoned there, sentenced to death, and managed to, thank God, due to advocacy, whatever, was reprieved of the death sentence and made it to the U.S. So anyway, she talks about what she's seeing in Persian, in Farsi, the news she's getting, and how Iranians actually do feel about the Israeli attacks going on. Now, another thing, while we were here, Naftali Bennett, who is a former prime minister of Israel, he was here, and we also got an interview with him. And he fully supports, though he would be running more or less against Netanyahu and would be competing. He would be probably Netanyahu's toughest competitor if elections were held tomorrow. But he fully supports this military action by Israel, and said that it's very necessary. He said, imagine if, what would happen, like, if Iran was then allowed to have a nuclear weapon. Of course, Netanyahu said the same thing. He was here earlier today, and also National Security Minister Itamar Ben-Gvir was also here earlier. So this has been Grand Central for a lot of politicians. So anyway, I'm going to leave you with that for now. But go check out that interview I did yesterday with Marzi. And then the day before that with Jacob Persley, who also talked about some of the comments he's hearing from people in Iran, from friends he has over there. So all interesting stuff, still ongoing. Israel says this might last another 2 weeks. Today's what, June 15th or 16th? What day is today? the 15th. Yes, the 15th. And yeah, we haven't slept. Okay, we have not slept in several nights. But so also, I just saw that like El Al canceled all their flights for the next 2 weeks. So also, my parents are going to be stuck here for a while. I just saw in the midst of this, a security warning not to go through Jordan or Egypt either, which was, we were thinking like, oh, we'll get them out through, smuggle them through Egypt. It's been done before, hasn't it? Get them through Egypt and then maybe to an airport there or Jordan, which is actually, I wouldn't have chosen Jordan because it's pretty unsafe with the drones flying over from Iran or Iraq over Jordanian airspace. So no, I wouldn't choose that option anyway. But now even Egypt apparently is not the way to go unless they're just telling us that. So we're under lockdown, really. I mean, I can kind of get around the country, but now we can't really get around too much. We can't get out, that's for sure. So anyway, you know what? One last thing. Let me take you. Let me make sure I'm not. I'm here with the group, and I just want to make sure I'm not going to. Maybe they're starting something. Wanted to take you down to see some of the other destruction, but you know what? In any case, I prefer to stay with them and not lose. I lose my ride. Yeah. But there, I'll show. I have videos that I'll hopefully be able to edit together a video later this evening or tomorrow, just of other destruction that I saw over here. So anyway, thank you for tuning in, and just stay tuned for more because this is just an ongoing, ever breaking news kind of situation and a very dangerous one at that. So, anyway, thank you very much, and I will see you